The search continues for a Minneapolis man who recently skipped out on his sentencing for a deadly hit-and-run crash. Tonight, the victim's family is sharing their frustrations.
Allison Annan was killed in a crash last year in St. Paul. Paul Bloom has more as the family is left wondering why the driver was out of custody in the first place when that crash happened.
I don't want anybody else to ever have to feel this pain.
More than a year after losing her mother in a deadly crash, Jennifer Cook tells me that the hurt and heartbreak has not eased even in the slightest.
Deeply, yeah, it's unimaginable. I feel like the grieving hasn't even begun yet.
And now the children and grandchildren of Allison Annan report the initial wounds have been ripped right back open.
I don't know when or if I'm ever going to be able to heal again.
That is because this man who T-boned Annan in her PT Cruiser last year no-showed for sentencing last week. Her-Xiong pleaded guilty to criminal vehicular homicide, agreeing to a prison sentence in the neighborhood of 8 years behind bars. But when Annan's loved ones went to court last Friday, ready for some closure, and to publicly share their grief and victim impact statements, Her-Xiong, who's out of custody on a $100,000 bond, was nowhere to be found. An arrest warrant immediately issued.
He was driving a stolen car. He fled from the police and left my mom there, dead at the scene.
Jennifer and the family furious, pointing to Her-Xiong's lengthy criminal record, including 13 prior felony convictions, as well as additional criminal charges since the deadly crash. And yet he was out free, and they want to know why.
I don't know what's going to change him. You know, there's not just a switch that anybody can just flick, but it's got to be more than what it is now. You know, people out there just getting a slap on the wrist for running somebody over. It's just, I don't know what's going on in the world.
Again, there is an arrest warrant out there for Her-Xiong. It's important to note he failed to show up for a court hearing he had on unrelated drug charges over in Minneapolis, Hennepin County on Monday. Prosecutors here in Ramsey County said if and when they can get him in front of a judge, they are likely to seek more prison time than this plea agreement has called for. Reporting outside St. Paul Police Headquarters, Paul Bloom, Fox 9.